no trapping. I wanna feel the beat, no
Hey,
capping. We
Trigger,
trapping
what's
on this
going
beat,
on,
and I'm flowing on
everybody?
this beat one time. Here I go, and flick it a
Hey,
flow with each and every ticket at a time. Dropping
welcome.
up this beat, and I'm flowing up this fucking rhyme.
Welcome to the
Heated up,
stream,
I'm heating up,
everybody.
even though I'm heating up.
What's up,
My name is
everybody?
Bigger V, and yes, I'm
Shout
gonna
out to
heat
all
it up.
my
No, I'm not
channels.
a rapper, and I'm
Let me
capping on
give
this
you all
Bigger
my
beat.
shout outs
Don't you know
right
I'm
now.
freestyling? Yes, I'm coming
Shout
here
out
to
to
heat,
the trees.
bringing all
It's
the
all
higgity
about
heat
the
from
trees.
parts
Shout out to
humanity.
Sean
Yeah,
Davy
I'm flicking a
Wick.
flowing on the
Shout out
bigger,
to
bigger, the bigger the beat.
ATQ,
What you know
Incoming
about
Opinion.
me? Yeah, I'm coming
Shout
hard,
out to
hard. Don't you know I'm
Healing
coming
Within.
hard on this ticket of
Shout
time,
out
time.
to the
What you know
plainest
about this time
Jane.
bomb? I'm coming hard,
Shout
hard.
out to
92
Let
to
Me
the
See
woman of
Your
the power. Yeah, I come
Transcript.
power to the hour of the
Shout
woman. It is
out.
I.
Shout
When I ask to
out
battle again, no
to all you
replies, flies.
new and
When I come
old
on this beat,
content
I'm flicking it
creators.
forward, fly,
Shout out
fly,
to
fly. I
Night and
put your
Day
ass in the
Network.
motherfucking sky, sky.
Love
Here
you
we
to
go. Heart
death,
for
man.
humanity. We do it
Shout
right. Yeah,
out
we
to
kind of
All
slide
Access
through. Yeah, we kind
Media.
of do it right.
Yes, you
What you know
guys. I want to
about it?
promote
We can
unity and
come
love, you
backwards.
guys.
We
So I
can
want to
come
slide on you
sideways.
real
We can
quick.
come slideways. We can
You know what
come
I'm saying?
slide
Shout
through
out to
your
all
shit
you
in your
guys.
wide ways.
Want to
What you
show
know
you some love
about
real
this? We
quick.
can come
So come on
side.
now.
Drop it
Drop
like
it
it's
like
hot.
it's hot, hot.
Drop it
Drop
like
it
it's
like
hot.
it. Come on
Drop
now.
it like you not. What
Hey.
you know about it?
Yeah,
Ha,
boy.
ha.
Let's
This
go.
is how we
Hey,
do it. What you know I'm
come on.
down now. I
Let's
won't
go.
do it. Throw it,
Come on.
throw it back.
Yeah,
Throw it
boy.
back.
So
Throw it to the
listen.
front. And you
Go ahead
throw
and
it to
show
the
some
side
support to
back.
some of
But
those
you know what
channels
about I
now.
put you in
Go
the
ahead and
dress
hit
and
that
do your back.
subscribe
Throw your
button,
ass
baby.
in the front. Hit you on your ass
Yeah,
crack. Come on,
boy.
baby. What?
Yeah, boy.
Here we
Now,
go.
if I
Heart
forgot any
humanity.
channels,
We
I'm
do
going to
it
run
like
through it again now.
we
I'm
do
going
it
to do
too.
it to
Just
you
like the
with
rest of
that
you too.
incoming,
You
outgoing.
too. We do it
Yeah,
too.
baby.
Flowing on this beat.
Uh-huh.
And we
Get that
flowing on this
trees,
beat.
baby.
We flow.
All about the
Don't you know
trees.
that?
Like
Bigger than
Tree
we
says,
get hot with
be
flow.
bad,
Ha
bitch.
ha
Be
ha.
bad,
Heat
bitch.
it up,
That's what she
baby.
say.
Don't you know
Come
we is
on.
in
You
the
can
house and I'm
trademark that.
cracking all these
Sean
niggas once
Davy Wick,
more. Here you
hair
go.
flip,
Don't
baby.
you know
That
I'm flicking the flow,
universal
flow,
hair
flow. I
flip,
kick your
baby.
ass
Go
on
and
this
get
beat
that,
once
baby.
more. One
Shout out to
time through the
Conscious
beat, I ain't even
TV
gotta
too. I
write
can
no
bust a
rhyme.
little
Damn,
bit,
coming
baby.
off the
Shout
dome and
out to
what you
him,
brothers know
man.
this time. Huh,
Come on,
come
let's
to me
go.
and battle on this fucking beat.
Yeah,
I
boy.
can come on
Uh-huh.
any beat and make your ass creep,
Yeah.
creep, creep.
Get him.
Come on, niggas, come on and see me.
Yeah,
Come
boy.
over to Trigger
Come
and we
on.
can't do it free. Free on this
Incoming,
beat,
you
we can
doing your
do it
thing,
any way you
girl.
want. I
You
can
know you
slide in your
is.
shit. You can
Shout out to
slide
Danny
if you want.
Robinson.
But
Do that
you
thing,
get
girl.
kind of
That's the
toasted and
word up.
roasted on this bigger beat.
Yeah.
What you know when you
Uh-huh.
coasting. Huh?
Huh. That's right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Trigger TV. Shout out to Trigger TV. Hearts for Humanity, baby. That's where you find V. What's up? Welcome to the stream, baby. Welcome to my channel. Yes, thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming in. I love you so much. I'm here to rock with you. Thank you. You know, I had to come on in here and listen. The first thing I want to tell you is Happy Father's Day to all you awesome fathers out there and mothers that are fathers. Happy Father's Day to you single fathers, to you married fathers, to you mothers that are fathers. Shout out to you, you guys. And I hope you are enjoying this lovely Sunday and enjoying. And I hope that you have embraced this lovely Father's Day. So shout out to all of you. Okay. Now we are about to get into this Melly thing. You know, I've been kind of trying to let this YNW Melly thing kind of unravel, man. Trying to find out if they're gonna ask for this mistrial or not. And it seems like it's kind of on the table. And Melly shaking his hands, you know, kind of playing with his damn grill and shit like he getting out. I'm trying to find out what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? We saw everything, the 4 days of trial, then 2 hours at the end, like he was about to get a mistrial and get released on house arrest until they figured out what they wanted to do. So we just need to find out what the hell is really going on with YNW Melly. You know what I'm saying? There is so much going on in these YouTube streets, for real, for real. If you guys heard that intro, shout out to all those channels. I want to give you guys love. All the love to all of you guys. Shout out to all of you doing your thing, man, for real. Shout out to you, for real. All you content creators working so hard to get that content right and get it up there. Shout out to you. So let me go ahead and wipe you down with some of these, you know, disclaimer things, you know, these things that we call content, you know, little disclaimers, you know, little things to keep us from, you know, getting, you know, sued and shit like that. You know, little something, little something. Anyway, there we go. Let's get those out the way. those educational things. Make sure you see them, embrace them, love them. Know that this is all for educational purposes. Remember, everything is alleged. That we are going to talk about. We are going to speak and preach about this Melly thing. Though we are going to get into it. We know there's a lot of things going on these YouTube streets. For real, with this Jaguar thing going on. You know, I want to talk about it so bad, but I can't. I just can't. It's not my spirit to talk about it. I just can't. I'm just listening to it. It's all over the place. But damn, I'm going to tell you right now, shout out to Treesus. Treesus needs to trademark her statements, y'all. For real. When Treesus said this statement, and I'm going to say it again. When Treesus said the statement, she said on one of her arguments, she was going back and forth. Treesus said, bitch, act bad. Act bad. That is my new saying. Bitch, act bad. Act bad. That's what Teresa said. Act bad, bitch. And that's going to be my new thing. Act bad. Shit. You want to act bad? Come up on the stream and act bad. Shit. That's what Melly should have told the damn prosecutor. Act bad, bitch. She done messed up the whole damn jury. Now it might be a mistrial. It might be a shit show. You know what I'm saying? The damn prosecutor then damn, you know, intimidated the damn mother of the ex-girlfriend. Melly should have told her, act bad, bitch. Let's get into this story real quick, though, for real. Shout out to Treesus, for real, with that damn shit. Act bad. I'll be following Treesus' little statements, because that shit for real, act bad. Because this bitch act bad. She acted real bad. But let me go ahead and share the screen with you, and let's get on with this. I'll make a little story, a little something for y'all. We can get through this. But let me show you a little something about what's going on with Melly, and let's start from the beginning, though. And let's get it on. And let's just get right into this. Let me share the screen with you guys, and let's get into it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Yu, and thank you so much for joining us for a special hour on Law and Crime Network for the YNW Melly double murder trial Q&A. Our eyes are in Broward County, Florida, for the trial of Jamel Demons, better known by his stage name as YNW Melly. The South Florida rapper is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder for the 2018 shooting deaths of Anthony Williams, also known as YNW Sack Chaser, and Christopher Thomas Jr., also known as YNW Juvie. The victims and the defendants were all a part of the YNW collective, along with co-defendant Cortland Henry, who will be tried in a separate case. Now, if YNW Melly is convicted, the 24-year-old could be facing the death penalty. While court is on their lunch recess right now, we will be taking your questions live on the air, so please submit them on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok as well. And we will do our best to get many questions answered as possible. And now I'm joined by a very special legal panel. We have Law and Crime Network's Brian Buckmeyer, Law and Crime correspondent Bryson Paul, as well as support online hip-hop legal contributor Afi Patterson. Guys, thank you so much for joining me here. This trial is receiving such national attention for many reasons, and there's so many twists and turns and drama. It is day 4 of this trial now. Brian, what has stood out to you thus far?
What stood out to me, I think, is the same thing that stood out throughout the trial so far. I'm trying to figure out where the smoking gun is in this case. Maybe it was the trajectory information where they're saying, hey, YNW Melly was sitting at this seat at this time. We saw a video from the recording studio of him entering the car, the shell casings and the trajectory of the bullet suggests that whoever's sitting here is the one that did it. But other than that, I'm not really seeing that damning evidence that the prosecution promised in their opening. That
now, look, guys, for a minute real quick. I want you guys to observe Melly's behavior in the courtroom, okay? Just real odd behavior. Watch.
That should be playing out in this trial.
And Bryson, many people are talking about the demeanor of Melly after he was seen in the courtroom smiling and blowing a kiss, which the victim's family called disrespectful. How could a jury be reacting to that?
Oh, the jury is acting very mild, very not really paying attention to what is
So disrespectful.
going on in the gallery, really just paying attention to the evidence at this time.
And Afi, how would you assess day 4 and what you have heard thus far?
So
Day 4 has gotten
I think
even
today has been
And we know he ain't on no drugs because he in jail. So we can't say he drugged out. We can't say he high. We can't say he owns something. He in jail. He been in jail for what? Since 2018, 5 years. So he ain't high. So why is he blowing kisses and disrespecting the family? Melly.
sorry. I think today's been fantastic. I think the defense has done a really
Set tripping.
great job, especially dealing with the Snapchat information, making their objections clear on the record, making sure that they bring in a first tier law to explain their objections and making sure that they make a beautiful record, I think, in the event of appeals. I think that part has been fantastic for me. I also think I agree with the other correspondent.
Only a face a mother could love. I loved YNW Melly. I loved him. You know, he was dope. I loved him. But I'm like, damn, you're so demonic. Like his face and just how he just his energy in this trial, his energy and what happened, and just his energy for real. From the beginning to the end of what has happened, his energy behind all of it has changed. I used to love YNW Melly, trust me.
Correspondent.
I was a fan.
How is the prosecution going to put the gun in Melly's hand? How are they going to make him the trigger man? I understand their theory. They have promised a lot, but I don't see how they're going to put the gun in the hand. That's what I'm waiting for.
All right, great analysis
luck
as
with
usual,
that one.
guys. We're going to now take questions now from all of our viewers. Please keep them coming. We're going to take a question now from Creeps Cringe TV from YouTube asks, do you think that the prosecution has used the 4
I'm very concerned if this far along, 5 years in, since 2018 this happened, they're still trying to figure out how they're going to put the gun in Melly's hand. That's concerning.
4 years that they have had Melly incarcerated
I'm sorry, my correction. 4 years they've had him incarcerated. Okay? I believe this happened in 2018, but they've had him incarcerated for 4 years. So they're still trying to figure out how they're going to put this gun in Melly's hand. Like, this is very concerning. That means that their prosecution, they're going to have some problems. Even though they say they have cell phone and GPS and all that stuff, him running around the car and all that stuff and everything and whatever. Pins going from here to there and Fredo bang and et cetera, et cetera. You still can't put the gun in his hand. Prosecution is going to have a very hard time.
the best way to build a case against them or have failed to come up with more evidence to seek the death penalty? Brian, your thoughts?
I don't think so. And maybe it's stylistic, but this is the way I think about presenting any kind of argument to a jury. I want to be the first one to tell you something. I want to tell you more often than the other person, and I want to be the last one to tell you as well. And what I mean by that is, tell me why he's guilty early, tell me why he's guilty often, and give that last word as to why he's guilty. If a jury is waiting 3, 4, 5, how many ever days it gets to get to the heart of the prosecution's case, you may lose people. You may have people drifting away. You might have people looking at YNW Melly and be like, I would be laughing too at this point in the case, because there hasn't been that hard-hitting evidence that makes me think I'm on your side. You want to get the jury on your side as quickly as possible, and I'm giving the prosecution the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure they have something that's going to come. I'm saying do it now and grab and contain and hold the jury's attention for the rest of the trial. Otherwise, you may never get them.
All right, we have another question now. Bryson, I'm going to let you take this one. This is from Young Baller from YouTube. He asks, how are tensions in the courtroom on day 4?
Tensions are the same as day 3, and it's very, 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 very tense between both sides, both Melly's gallery and both the victim's gallery. The families of the deceased are very upset, very angered by Melly's approach, just his demeanor and everything. While he's
So look at Melly's approach. She's sitting there smiling, comfortable, like he's fine. Everything is okay. I guess he believes he's innocent.
he sits in the courtroom, he smiles, laughs, talks to his mother and his special guest in the courtroom, and prays. And the family of the victims are still hurt that their significant others are lost, and just angered by the lack of remorse that he has for them.
All right, Afi, we have another question from YouTube from Renard Preston here. They asked, is it still possible for Cortland Henry to be used as a witness of the state, or would he have already needed to be identified as a witness by them prior to the trial beginning?
Because we know who he is. There's no surprise. He would have needed to be identified from the beginning. But also, if he takes the stand, it's easy for him to just invoke his Fifth Amendment right not to testify, not to incriminate himself. And can I also say about yesterday, you don't want to drown your jury in jargon. I think the gun expert drowned their jury, and there was a comment on it that you could have gotten a certificate in whatever he was discussing, but you don't want to lay it on heavy. You want to talk to me like I'm a fourth grader and just guide me through in pieces that I can understand. That's how you're going to keep me. That's how I'm going to not zone out, and I'm going to continue to be engaged.
Well, like I said earlier, there is so much for this jury to take in, let it all sink in. But guys, keep your questions coming. We're going to take a quick break here on Law and Crime. We'll do our best to answer all your questions on the air. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
So first of all, his own history of changed statements becomes admissible evidence. And that doesn't mean he did anything wrong, but in the court of law, people's change of stories, denying I was there, but now it's, oh, I was there, but someone else shot, is in the law fair game for the prosecutor. And it makes the case harder.
And they have said that there were inconsistent statements made by Melly and his co-conspirator. Jules, let's touch on the change in the death penalty law in Florida that Governor DeSantis signed earlier this year. It doesn't have to be unanimous anymore if they get to that penalty phase where the jury will consider punishment. It doesn't have to be a 12-0 decision anymore. It can be 8-4. So say he is convicted. He's a 24-year-old guy, was a much younger guy when this happened. He could more easily get the death penalty. So your thoughts on that?
So I'm going to take it back a step, if I may. First of all, just making this a death penalty case makes it more easy for him to be found guilty, because people who are on a death penalty jury tend to be more conservative, because you have to at least somewhat believe in the death penalty.
So let me ask you guys real quick. So who thinks that this is going to turn out to end up being a death penalty case? I want you to hit 1 for it to be a death penalty case. 2, if you think it's going to be a mistrial, because they are still having a hard time putting the gun in Melly's hand. 1 for yes, it's going to be a death penalty case. 2 for you think it's going to be a mistrial because they still can't place this gun in Melly's hand. 1 for death penalty case. 2 for it's going to be a mistrial. Let's get a 30-second countdown. 1 for death penalty case. It is going to be a death penalty case. 2 for mistrial. Here we go. All right, guys, we are back. Remember, I said 1, if you think it's going to be a death penalty case. 2, I think it's going to be a mistrial. So please, you guys, leave it in the comments. I want to hear your feedback, you guys. Give me some more feedback. Talk to me in the comments. Please, I see you guys viewing my videos. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to give me that thumbs up, please. And please subscribe to the channel. Please, you guys, subscribe to the channel. Share the video. And please get active in those comments, because your comments do matter to me. So please make sure that you share, like, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up for me, okay? Thank you so much. And let's go ahead and move on. And let's get on to the next part. Remember, 1 for the death penalty case, 2 for a mistrial.
When they get to that second trial, because it's really 2 trials. Trial 1, did you do it? Trial 2, what's your punishment? The jury does have to be unanimous about one thing: whether the government has proved what is called an aggravating circumstance. So it's not just, hey, you're guilty, but they've actually listed 4 possible aggravating circumstances. As long as the jury agrees.
So see Melly's face? So this is why I have such a big problem with Melly now. Melly being in custody like that and smiling like that and being so happy and so upbeat. I mean, I understand that you do have to keep yourself, above water and not be depressed, and, try and keep yourself, sane while you're in there. So you got to keep yourself, prayed up and not down and depressed and stuff like that. I do understand that, where you're going through something, if you're not guilty or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, for Melly to be doing all the extra, the overboard stuff, you know what I mean? The smiling and the winking and all that stuff that he's doing is really extra. It really, really is. You can see it in his face and the grins. He just looks demonic to me. I mean, he looks like he's just happy, that he's committed this crime, that he's done this. He looks proud. He looks proud. He looks like he's going home. He looks like he's already beat the case. He does not look concerned at all. He looks like he's taunting his victims' family members that are in that courtroom to me. And it's his energy behind that smile and that taunt that concerns me. And that makes me sick to my stomach in this case.
As to 1 unanimously.
It's so
then
disappointing.
They do this vote, and you are right. It used to be unanimous, and that was really important, because the death penalty should only be given when the real community really agrees this is right. Florida's now said, we don't care if 1/3 of you don't agree. If 2/3 of you do, that gives the judge permission. And given that you're starting with a group of people who are in favor of the death penalty, raising the number of dissents that can still be ignored makes it easier to get a death sentence.
Mr. What the jury stepped out, Councilman along with the defendant, anything to discuss? Friends, no? No, sir. See you back tomorrow night. Thank you, Judge.
I mean, even the attorney smiling, even her smiling, like, look, for what? Like, what's this about? I mean, is he going home? Help me out here.
Thank you, folks.
Where's the gun? Without any of us step on the court tonight. Thank you. I appreciate it.
They're muting.
Welcome everyone to Law and Crime Daily. I'm Brian Buckmeyer. Day 2 of rapper YNW Melly's murder trial in South Florida brought long periods of testimony from crime scene investigators. The prosecution wants to show the jury why they believe Melly was the shooter inside an SUV back in October of 2018. Melly, whose given name is Jamel Demons, is accused of killing 2 men he called his friends. In October of 2018, Melly's best friend, Cortland Henry, showed up at a Miami hospital claiming his friends were caught in a drive-by shooting and were bleeding out in the car. Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas had multiple gunshot wounds and were pronounced dead. Henry told officers they were shot at while leaving a recording studio. But when police got there, they said there was no evidence that a drive-by had occurred. Investigators determined the victims were shot by someone in the car, and surveillance showed 4 men inside, including Melly. Police arrested Melly and Henry on 2 counts of first-degree murder each. They are being tried separately and have both pled not guilty. The prosecutor walked one investigator through the photos he took of the Jeep where Thomas and Williams were killed. We want to warn you, some of the photos do show blood inside the SUV.
That is the area between the front passenger seat and the door jamb for the front passenger door.
Okay. Next photo, what are we looking at here?
That is the front passenger side floorboard.
Moving on here, the seats, did you manipulate them in any way before taking this photograph?
No, we did not.
Moving on into the next photograph, what are we looking at there?
Those are gold caps for teeth.
And so it's clear that that's a close-up photo from this rear passenger door. Is that a correct statement?
Yes, that's right.
So here they are, you guys. They are going to still have a hard time putting that gun in Melly's hand. So they better work super duper hard considering the circumstances. So here we go.
What are we looking at in this photo?
That is a spent projectile.
So I'm going to go back a photo. Is that the same projectile that is down here?
Yes, it is.
Going forward again, what are we looking at in this image?
That is the rear passenger side floorboard and items that were found there.
Continuing to the next photo, what are you documenting in this image?
In this image, you can see the partial back of the front passenger side seat, the, again, floorboard of the rear passenger side floorboard, the rear passenger side seat, and a projectile hole that you can see defect on the seat.
And so I'm going to zoom in on an area. Can you explain what you're talking about, the projectile hole?
Yes.
And you can use this screen to touch if you're to draw attention to certain areas.
I observed a defect in the seat that is later on gone into detail.
Okay. What are you documenting in this image?
This image shows the trunk which had been opened, and in the photograph you can see the car manual and a jacket.
Did you disturb any of the glass? Did any of the glass move when you were opening that trunk?
Not that I recall.
All right, let's bring in my co-host, former trial attorney Terry Austin, and our very special guest, former homicide prosecutor Murd3rR. Terry, a lot of today's testimony may have seemed really dry, not just to some of our viewers, but probably some of us as well. But why is it necessary to go through each and every piece of evidence in so much detail?
Well, because under the federal rules of evidence, you have to make sure that obviously it's relevant, and all these photos with this particular witness were relevant, but you have to lay a foundation to authenticate each and every photo. And in order to do that, you have to ask the individual, did you take the picture? Is this a fair representation? Is it an accurate representation of the scene at the time? If all of that goes well, then it can be introduced. But the process itself is also tedious because you have to first ID the piece of evidence, and then you have to show it to opposing counsel, and then you have to show it to the witness, and then you lay that foundation, and then the judge, you may get an objection and the judge has to rule, then you have it into evidence and it's published. So it's a process.
Yeah, and those are the same rules that the states have. I always tell people, hey, the foundation of a home isn't sexy, but if it's cracked, you're not going to want to buy that home. It's probably the same thing here. Murd3rR, some of the photos of the crime scene showed graphic footage of the car containing bloodstains. There was an objection by defense at one point. Do you think the photos could be prejudicial to the jury?
So you have to think with these photographs, the judge had to weigh its probative effect versus its probative value versus its prejudicial effect. Of course, it's prejudicial in the sense that it leads to the guilt of the defendant. However, it's relevant to the sense that the prosecutor had to lay out what did the crime scene look like and also where the pieces of evidence were located, especially in the case where the defendant claimed that the injuries occurred as a result of being shot at. This would tend to dispute the car being as a result of a drive-by, but instead of that, the shooting took place inside. So, of course, the probative value definitely outweighs the prejudicial effect.
Yeah, it gives us
So you guys see this trial is getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And when I tell you it's day 4, day 5, you've got it all. I mean, and it continues to go. I'm telling you, this thing went all the way through, and we're going to continue to keep
That gives us a
going.
lot more information about what happened in that car. Well, Law and Crime has a reporter, Bryson Paul, inside the courtroom covering this trial for us. He's able to give us some insight into what the cameras don't see.
Absolutely.
You definitely notice the animosity between the victim's family and YNW Melly's family.
Absolutely.
Both have looked cross back and forth at each other.
Look at it.
On multiple
Absolutely.
occasions. As evidence and video shows of the now deceased victims, you can see the victim.
So he's absolutely right, you guys. There is a lot of animosity between Melly's family and the victim's family. A lot of animosity. And you have to question and ask, where is that animosity coming from and why? Because they know that something happened and they know what's there, period.
Victims' families even look directly at Melly with a disdain look on their face. Just you can see when they have the videos of Melly and Melly and his group of friends walking around, even leading up to the murder, you'll see Melly's mom look over at the victim's family to see what their reactions are. And even at one point in time, when we were about to break, the victim YNW Juvie's mother even got up in the middle of the gallery and stared directly at YNW Melly until he looked at her. He's definitely not looking forward to looking at the deceased. he actually refuses every time, whether they're alive in the video or not, he refuses to look at them in the video. He actually just turns away, either turns down his head or consorts with his counsel.
That's an automatic admission of guilt. A man that will not even look at them. Automatic admission of guilt. I mean, how else do you take that? And you got the jury in the room too. What do you do with that?
We're finishing today's show in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Taylor Shabazz has appeared in court for a motion hearing as a judge weighs whether she's competent to stand trial on murder charges. Shabazz is pleading not guilty by reason of insanity to the gruesome death of 24-year-old Shad Therian last year.
Now, I will remind you, this is a trial that could result in the penalty for this man, and he doesn't seem bothered at all. YNW Melly seems very unbothered by everything. Is that a good or bad thing? But just as his music manager 100K Track mentioned, he stated Melly has great defenses on his side.
He built a real great solid team away from just being innocent, because he wouldn't do such a crime. He prepared himself and got a proper, defense. Their job is to handle their stuff in trial, not on social media. You guys are taking it that way. If they say they got DNA in a car, I'm just gonna tell you, Melly DNA was found in the car. You're gonna think, yeah, his DNA was found in the car the day of the. Oh, he jumped in a car and his DNA was in the car. He did it, okay? But you're not gonna put the fact that this was his car for 6-7 months on those documents and dockets and just automatically be like, yo, he's fried. You don't even know what the defense is. You don't even know what the rebuttal is. You don't even know why that situation occurred. You hear ballistics flying. You don't know what the defense is. You hear this, you hear that. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest.
However, later on until that trial day, it was when YNW Melly's defense team had been blessed with some of the motives that the prosecutors wanted to use, now no longer being allowed to use. Many people believe this is the main factor as to why YNW Melly could beat this case. One of the motives was that YNW Sack Chaser received $200,000 from YNW Melly's record label. However, prior to Sack Chaser getting offered this record deal, YNW mom would post this.
All her friends and all these people, like he's about this life. But I'm saying, like, who you ever out at? What you ever did? You couldn't even take charge. If you don't sit your down and don't ever come for me, because my credentials is real. It ain't even a joke. So don't ever try to come for me, because I don't even play them type of games. Like, what you got that I ain't got? Oh, you your little. I got big. At the end of the day, Melly is my child.
If this motive didn't get thrown out of court, YNW Melly's own mom would have to take the stand and answer questions onto what happened in this instant. However, the feds already looked into it. To find answers, the police first attempted to subpoena 300 Entertainment, also known as the record label, offering Sack Chaser the deal. However, the detective explained that the company refused to honor their subpoena. Now, the feds would then go on to ask YNW Sack Chaser's mom, Jana Thompson, to expand on the $200 grand. This was all during a March 2022 deposition. Though she specified she didn't know exactly who the alleged payment was from or what it was even for, she said that her son reached out to her a few days before he passed, where she said, "My son hysterically called me," she said. "He was very concerned about my whereabouts. He was concerned about his sister's whereabouts. He was concerned, like something was going to happen to us. And then he told me that he would not get his his money. She continued saying, he said, I'm probably not even going to get my money. Thankfully for YNW Melly and his defense team, this motive has been thrown out of the court. Many believe this will be the reason he'll be getting released from jail.
So there you have it, you guys. For real. There you have it. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That's the last little thing that we have going on here. Okay. So that is what they have. That's what we have going on. For real. We're going to see what happens with this case. I'm interested to find out. I'm interested to know. I'm going to follow this case. I'm going to keep it popping. I'm going to keep you guys updated because I want to know. I want to see what happens next because this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to keep you guys updated. Please say what triggered. We are going to keep you guys updated on what happens with Melly because I think it's going to be a mistrial. Honestly, I really do. I really, really, really do. So we will see what happens. So you guys stay with us. We love you so much. Remember to be kind to one another. Remember, I'm going to play you out with PSA. Let's see if PSA acts right. Let's see if PSA acts right this time. Since I don't have a DJ, I'm going to play you out the way I want to play you out, okay? I don't need to have an outro video. I'm going to play you out with whatever I want to play you out with. Whatever song I choose, that's just whatever I'm going to choose, okay? And that's just what I said. I don't care if the DJ fires me. I'll fire him back next time. I'm going to play you out with PSA. And then I'm going to go ahead and call out my favorite channel because I forgot to call out I'm Jess. Shout out to I'm Jess. I love you guys. Thank you for rocking with Trigger. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that Cash App. You guys, hit that Cash App. Show us some love, man. $ Hearts for Humanity with the number 4 and humanity spelled straight up. Love you so much. And remember to open doors and be kind to one another. Remember that love is definitely stronger than hate. Remember, get some love on these YouTube streets, man. Get some love. Get a little bit of love out there. Just a little bit. You don't have to have a lot. Just a little bit. A little bit. All right? We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for joining us, and peace. And I'll see you in the next one. We love you so much, and I'm out. This is for the haters, even though I don't really have none. There we go. All right, then. Shout out to, here we go. Shout out to, let me see. Who I want to shout out first? Shout out to Night and Day first. Shout out to Night and Day. Shout out to All About the Trees. Shout out to SDW. Shout out to Incoming Opinion. Shout out to Healing Within. Shout out to Let Me See Yo. Shout out to Just. Shout out to, let's see, hold on. You turn it down. Shout out to I'm Just. Shout out to Healing Within. Shout out to Night and Day. Shout out to All Access Media. Shout out to Trigger TV. Shout out to Trigger TV Hearts for Humanity. Damn it. Shout out to Trees' backup pages. Shout out to All About the Damn Trees, boy. Now, shout out to Sean Davey Way, my boy, now. Shout out to AT2. Shout out to the plainest damn Jane. Now. Shout out to who the hell else? Shout out to, I said Incoming Opinion because you know I'll be incoming and outgoing with that shit all day. I like this song. Hold on.
This is how we do. We can cut and get down. We can drop it down.
Oh, damn. Oh, that's a nice song. Hey, come on, baby. Let's go. Yay. Hey, let's go. You know I'm getting it back here. This is PSA. This is public service announcement right here. Hey, let's go. Come on, turn up. Hey, let's go. Hey, come on. Love y'all. Let's go. That's right, baby. That's a PSA for you. Hey, let's go. Yeah, boy. Love you. Shout out to all y'all. Yeah, boy. Uh-huh. 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 We'll see you on the next one. We'll drop that. We'll drop the beat. We'll blaze the beat. We'll blaze the beat. Shout out to all you lovely content creators. Shout out to you beef sector mofos. Shout out to you. I'm not gonna call you Jag Sector because there is no Jag Sector. Fuck that Jag Sector shit. Y'all need to let that shit go. It's called the you know what sector now. Shout out to the love sector now. Come over here and subscribe to Trigger now. Hit that like button. Subscribe now. Like, share, subscribe. We love you and we will see you on the next one. Now, roll through, slide through incoming opinion, slide through all about the trees, slide through, let me see you know what now. Slide through, I'm just. Slide through AT2, slide through SDW, slide through Night and Day, slide through all access media, slide through Plain as Jane, slide through Danny Robinson, slide through all y'all now. Now slide through all you lovely little channels now. Now I know I forgot a few of y'all. Now I called y'all out before. Now keep on now. Let's go now. Now let's keep it going now. Now I'm going to play you out now. Listen, rest of PSA. This is your public service announcement. Only for the haters, though. Yeah, we do it too.
Put you in the dress, make you fucking bend down. This is how we do. Trigger, we can
Ooh,
get down. We can drop it down.
Damn, Trigger mean. Damn. Ooh, Trigger's raw. Ooh, I'm raw. All right, y'all. I'm going to see y'all on the next one. That was just not nice. That ain't nice. We love y'all. I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace. Just like Teresa says, bitch, get bad. Be bad, bitch. Be bad. Be bad, girl. That's your PSA. Subscribe. Public service announcement. Subscribe to Trigger.